Okay, very good, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed the various presentations by the countries. You can tell that from the different presentation, there is an interesting combination of level of competencies between any two countries. But clearly, there's opportunities for collaboration. And the intention of pulling together in a network where ASEAN countries can work collectively together, collaborate in the best form possible, raise the standard of competency and potentially our innovation level is definitely what we're looking for. So here we have the 4 experts of the countries, and we'd like to take this opportunity now to have a little discussion with them, right? To explore what can we do different. Both Dr. Iskandar and myself will be asking them some questions to explore how best we can eventually come together with some thoughts and allow us to initiate projects that we can work together on. I'm going to kick off with the first questions, and at a later point in time, should there be time, I'm going to open up to the floor for you to raise any questions that you may ask. So the first question I'd like to ask the 4 members here is really, how do they see ASEAN countries, right, given the diversity that we have, come together eventually in the space of AI and robotics, and what project can we do together? If I may ask, Terence, perhaps you take lead.
Okay, thank you, Oliver. Yeah, so looking at all the so-called panelist presentation, we can see that in terms of the so-called deployments of robot, there is some gaps, So I believe that coming together, to form up this Arain, I believe is a very good initiative because it allows, among the different ASEAN countries to learn from one another, be it whether is it in terms of AI or robotics. And another, the other winning formula throughout this collaboration is that those upcoming countries, when they learn from the more experienced countries like Singapore, I'm sure that our local business here will also be able to bring their technology, to bring their innovation, to bring their business front to our neighboring countries to share. So in this way, right, I believe all of them will have been part of the ecosystems. So definitely this setup is going to be able to achieve something that, within the robotic and the AI ecosystems, we are looking forward to. Other than the knowledge sharing and the training as well, I believe there's also a marketplace for everybody. So we will help to bring up the skill set of those neighboring countries who wants to basically evolve and move forward in deploying robotics and AI solutions within their countries. And that will be the way to go, in the long run, because a lot of time there is no point in reinventing the wheel and restart everything, Yeah. So if you have ready solution and we have something that can fit, but we need a local partners that can do the customization. Because everything within each country, there is still a local flavor that Singapore have, but Philippines may be different, So we still need a local partners. So that is where this collaboration will bring about and co-create these opportunities for all of us.
Excellent point. In fact, what Terence has brought out is really a very important issue. How can the countries come together to close the competency gap? And in fact, as we close the competency gap, I can see that the initiating country will also have direct market access, and that's really mutually beneficial. I guess given that Terence referenced Philippines, I'm going to turn to Mauricio now and see what does she think about the question. How do you see countries collaborate together among the ASEAN community?
Yes, I actually agree with what is said about joining together and share what we have, what Singapore have done. So as also he presented just a while ago that some of the technologies they get from Singapore as well. So in the Philippines also, from the research that we have conducted in the Philippines, we think that there are very far researches already have done, not in the Philippines but outside of our country. That's why we are now exploring on partnership, establishing a good relationship with our nearby countries, not only just to do some business, but also to share and also have a like a conference and have a joint conference, for example, that would be another project, and also an R&D project that would benefit in our Philippine setting. So if you can see the opportunities in our country is very large in the agriculture sector. So probably there is already a solution that your country can provide us, so we could have already a joint R&D and then have it done in our country so that we could already see the benefit of a technology-based, a smart agriculture also in the Philippines. So I think that is one way for us to have a mutual relationship with the benefit of not only for our country but different countries as well.
Yeah, I think Mauricio mentioned a very interesting point, right? Joint events, joint activities.
Yes.
That's something we don't do a lot today. Hopefully, after this session, as we continue on moving forward, we can definitely have more joint activities coming together. I'm going to let Iskandar talk about the next question.
Okay. I have a question maybe for our friends from Cambodia. If there were to be one desire for doing a project in ASEAN under the Arain network, what would it be?
So
Your burning project that you feel that.
Yes, I can give you a little bit the background before answering the question there. Okay, Cambodia currently we are seeking for technology to empower the local manufacturers. So I wish to see the partnership like Arain has mentioned, so that we can move toward so industry can grow, can move. And I think that is also a good way to learn how the industry really move. And for me, I'm interested to see that industry is the connectivity and the help each other toward that. So the project that I wish to see to see is that the matching of the technology provider that okay, Singapore have, the Malaysia have, possibly the Philippines and the membership have, and what type of solution that can deploy to Cambodia and open up the market there, and Cambodia can benefit from the technology to improve their production so that they move on till hopefully one day we also join the arena of the R&D and develop technology. That what I'm looking forward to. Thank you.
Maybe our friend from Malaysia, what would be the burning project that you feel that we should be doing, from Malaysia for the ASEAN Arain, for Arain?
Okay, thank you, Doc. I think as a government agency, we are based from the policy itself. So the recent plan under the new industrial master plan, with a mission base under the net zero, focusing on the EV development, because we believe in Malaysia the whole EV ecosystem is a game changer for everything. So we can talk about the Industry 4.0 implementation within the manufacturing to develop a so-called like a gigafactory for the EV to mass produce it. And also in terms of AI, we can talk about mobility as a service that also support the ecosystem for autonomous vehicle. I think that is one of the area that we are trying to push right now by using the EV, or what we call under the National Automotive Policy, the next gen vehicle. This is whereby there's a two next gen vehicle concept, one on the EV development, and for the future within a 7 years plan, focusing on the autonomous vehicle development. So it will combine both. We need on the robotics elements for the Industry 4.0, for the smart factory to host and also to produce the EV. And second, on the AI as the ecosystem to support for future autonomous vehicle. This is following also the current concept of megatrend. I believe that is our vision right now. Okay.
It sounds like in order to collaborate, there has to be a lot more communication, right? I hear two very strong points coming from the two speakers, right? One is I've got this interest, but do you have it? So how can we collaborate? If I do not know each other, it's hard to do that. So frequent communication, getting to know each other better allows us to identify the needs, right? And of course, our friends from Malaysia suggested the EV project is one, right? I think that's definitely a very powerful one. We need to find a match where someone else has the same common interest, right? So finding the common interest and to focus on game-changing initiatives, because that's where the countries can leapfrog with the use of technology. I think that's definitely going to be very, very promising. Maybe I'll turn it forward to ask the next question, right? What do you think, I mean, anyone can jump in here, right? What do you think would be the major opportunity immediately that you want to put forward for collaboration, and why are the initiatives and incentives that can be provided, such as government policies, commercial funding, recognition awards, and so on and so forth? What are the available impetus that can help us, initiate those collaboration come together? So I'm going to maybe ladies first, Mauricio.
Okay.
What can Philippines offer to jumpstart this whole collaboration effort?
Yes, actually I've been talking to Dr. Iskandar already about possible activities that we could hold in the Philippines, for example, and then and invite members in the ASEAN region to be hosted by Arain, and then that will be focusing on the entrepreneurship, because there are already some ideas that are already on the prototype stage that are just needs a push and investments or investors to have it available in the market. So probably we could do some activities on the workshop of engineers going to this type of business and do entrepreneurship or technopreneurship. And from the different experts already in the ASEAN region who have done it already and then share their experience, well, I think that is one opportunity that we can look and venture it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It sounds like besides getting to know each other, it's also a function of building out a competency, right? We talk
Yes,
about
yes.
the entrepreneurship skills, right? And of course, the investment funding must also be available.
Yes.
And probably it's time to explore the option of a regional fund,
Yes.
right? Among the Arain community, where we can help each other, right? Investors that can come together, some form of a AI robotic regional fund, right? Where we can initiate and get participants to come in and join, right? Of course, if there's a chance of getting government support, that'd be great, but that can spur some effort into the whole innovation process. I think that's definitely a great point. I'm going to turn to my Cambodian friend now. What do you think? What would be one thing that Cambodia can offer, right, to jumpstart this collaboration process?
I think toward the network of areas, there are companies and solution providers. So I can see that the opportunity to match between the needs, because there are currently needs of the technology for the local manufacturer throughout the network of areas, and we can create possibly expo or work and to introduce this technology so that the local can feel and can know the benefits of the technology to empower them. That's what I see. And also possibly the funding, because our government now are starting to see the importance of the technology of the automation and AIs. So with this collaboration, we can speed up the Cambodian developments and leapfrog.
Yeah, I hear one very important point, to level up the automation competency level,
Yeah.
right? And I guess for among the 4 or 10 countries that we have, each of us have different automation competency level. So we need to level it up. Now to do that, perhaps some form of cross-country visits to explore, to understand each other would help, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I believe Singapore can take a lead on that exercise.
Yeah, thank you, Oliver. So I believe that Oliver has a good so-called understanding of what Automation SG has done. So I mean, for Automation SG, we would like to host probably the Arain members, in terms of sharing, both from the academia side, how do we promote our robotic program, how do we groom the spin-off from the academia side to actual commercialized companies, and then how they basically build up their muscles and build up their overall revenues and their outreach not only to Singapore but towards the international and the global market. And then also we can also help to organize some of the visits to our innovation centers. Either those that are built up by some of our members or from the agency, like Syntech have a smart model factory that actually has both robotics and a lot of material handling and a lot of the overall equipment monitoring, automation solutions within that whole model factory. So we can actually host our team members or our consortium members to visit some of these innovation factories to learn, and we can also share how, we can probably involve our National Robotic Program Office to share some of the initiative that Singapore government is running the grant, so that when you all are back to your own country, you all can actually learn how these are structured, and then from there can get up some ideas to understand the whole ecosystems and the whole process flow, how we build up the ecosystems within the Singapore robotic industry. So I believe that there's a lot of opportunities for Automation SG to share in terms of the learning part with all our so-called ASEAN members here. Yeah.
We didn't plan this, but definitely Terence has given you an offer here, right? Yeah. Singapore Automation SG is prepared to host regional visits to share and learn, right? And the whole process will allow all of us to level up accordingly. I think that's good. I really appreciate Singapore taking the initiative. I'm going to open up to the floor now if there's any questions. Anyone who want to ask questions to the panelists?
Yep.
Hello, my name is Indra from Indonesian Unmanned System and Technology Associations, or ASTA. We are happy to be here. Thank you, Pak Iskandar, for inviting us. And I'm just curious, for Arain members, is there already Indonesian associations in Arain?
Okay. There's none yet. In fact, in our meeting this morning, definitely Indonesia is one country that we would like to bring on board. So maybe after this we can have a discussion. There's Indonesia, there is Vietnam, Thailand is already in. There's a few other. There are, I think, 12 countries in ASEAN. So yeah, definitely. So we can discuss it.
We work closely with the Ministry of Industry, and actually I've been tasked by the ministry to actually answering Mr. Oliver said what we can offer from our country. We are tasked to promote Indonesia as a manufacturing hub in ASEAN. So please, for collaborations, you can bring your tech and build it in Indonesia. And for ASTA, we can help you navigate and all the policies and requirements to build and mass product your technology in Indonesia. Thank you.
Yeah, let me add on to that. I mean, Dr. Iskandar was very kind to express what we were looking for. In fact, it is very important we involve all ASEAN countries eventually. One of the initiation that we're going to kick off with is to profile each country with a common framework, right? Common template to understand what you have, what you don't have, what you're looking for, right? And any kind of support that you have locally coming together. So what we express out is actually very good, right? Making Indonesia the manufacturing hub, the government initiatives and so forth. And likewise, the members here are also sharing the same thing. The only thing is that now we talk about it, 5 seconds later we cannot remember what it is. So we will definitely initiate a little survey to put together a country profile of what each country's current status is in terms of AI and robotics. And once we have that profile in place, we hope to be able to match things up. And certainly we will be happy to invite you to share your profile, right? And then we can certainly do a matchup and see how we can move forward from there. Definitely, you are an important component of the ASEAN community. We have another question coming up.
Thank you very much. I'm from Innovate UK, which is the UK's innovation agency. My name is Chaco van der Sijp. It's great to see you all sitting together. I've got a question which relates to sitting together. So, Industry 4.0 will have its unintended consequences, which we have to manage. It can be cybersecurity, it can be the ethics behind AI, and it can be genetics, it can be data privacy, like hyper-customization. There are probably 20 challenges which are almost threatening humanity. Which of those challenges do you think is the most imminent, where you need to work together? So where collaboration is critical?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me give it a go. Thanks for the question. In fact, it's a very, very important question. Many of us, when we start moving into the advanced technology, this question becomes real. Across the globe today, there are many responsible technology institutes, right? In Vietnam, an association has been formed called AI for Good, looking at where and how AI can be implemented for good purposes and not so much in the left purposes. I know in UK there are many organizations, particularly if I could name the University of Oxford has a Responsible Technology Institute, right, where they look specifically at some of the areas where we want to ensure the ethical use of the technology. But when we talk about ethical responsibilities and so on and so forth, it boils down to one very important factor. How do you know it's responsible? How do you know it's ethical? So the education process is going to be very, very fundamental and key to the success. I always like to tell this story, right? You give a child a hammer, what happens? The child could build a house with it, or he could smash up a house. And all depends on how we educate the child to use that tool, to use that technology. I also believe that at the end of the day, technology is here to augment our human capability and potential, right? So I use the formula 0 to 1 and 1 plus, right? We may not have reached our human capacity, but if we use technology to augment us and we can reach the efficient level that we desire, that's a 0 to 1. You could be 0.5, 0.8 today, but you want to get to that efficient, optimal level that we all desire to have. After that, what happens? Well, technology can actually extend our human potential and get us further. Now, that journey comes along with some consequences, whether it's cybersecurity, whether it's this human responsibility, and so on and so forth. So it boils down to the fact that education becomes very important. And this is one project which I personally would like to initiate and drive, because if we can educate the younger generation, the working population, in terms of the understanding of technology, the consequences in the use of technology, both in the right form and the left form, it can help us achieve a lot better.
Thank you, but could you explain why that requires international collaboration? Why is that collaboration critical to that challenge?
So the need for countries to come together involves a few things, right? At this point in time, we can see that there is a competency level differences between the different countries. So there has to be a leveling up of what to expect from each parties. What may be ethical and responsible to one side may not entail the same criteria in another side. So that makes it very, very difficult to coordinate, right? The use of AI in the military space may be acceptable to one party and may not be acceptable to another party. So countries need to take position in terms of how we do that. And hopefully as a mature ecosystem, we are able to come together on a common agreement. And that common agreement then can permeate down the generations, the workforce, so that every one of us understand the common expectation of how we want to pursue. So that needs a bit of a, higher level initiatives, and we all need to work together towards that. It's not going to happen overnight, I assure you, right? But we're happy to get together and work and move towards that direction.
Yeah, if I can add to that, if you notice, we ASEAN, from a robotics and AI perspective, culturally we're quite close actually, in terms of the culture, and quite homogeneous in that sense. So you talk about values and all that. I think is much more absorbing in terms of being able to adopt use cases of good use of robotics and AI from the ethical point of view. Because I think culturally we are not that too far off diversified. The only thing can be a language, but in terms of we all of us eat rice, I think that's the common thing. The food are kind of close, culturally, so same weather. So I think that kind of contribute as well. So I think as a marketplace, ASEAN, I think, but we have to build on this strength, how technology can further support all of us. I think that's the challenge.
Yeah, and if I could add to what Dr. Iskandar said, right? I believe it is important for us to go out there and find out what's on the other side of the land, right? Many of us sit in a nice, cozy aircon room and say we want to come up with a plan, but we never got a chance to step out of the door and see what's happening outside. I just came back from Uzbekistan, and I spent a couple of days there, and I tried to understand the needs, the local environment, and their hunger, right? I was very impressed with the infrastructure they have, the wide roads, the organized environment, right? And particularly their Wi-Fi technology. Never expected that. Earlier this year, I was in Nepal, right? To see what they have and what they don't have there. I have spent the last 6 years, perhaps, maybe 7, right? Despite the pandemic, where I did a lot of things on Zoom or online, I actually have been traveling to places where I wanted to know where and how they are adopting technology. When I was in Nepal earlier this year, I was surprised that the students created their own e-bike. Of course, they told me to ride on one of them. I wasn't sure whether it was going to stop when I press the brakes, right? But they created their own e-bikes, and they were riding their own e-bikes in the campus all by themselves. And that to me is amazing, when we will expect Nepal to be more focused on tourism and less on technology. So we are seeing countries leveling up. They're seeing countries who are interested to come together. And when I come back from all these countries, I say, hey, we must start with ASEAN. This is my homeland, this is my home region. We must do something here so that we collectively can build a model. Eventually, we can share with others. And that's what we hope to do. And that's the reason why Dr. Iskandar and myself had many discussions over the last 2 years, and we felt that there was a need to do so. Of course, with the blessings of IEEE, who's putting up their hand to give us some support, right? We hope to continue this journey. We hope to have this journey with this group of friends here, and Indonesia, and many more to come, right? So that ASEAN can come together and build a strong technological block, all right? An ecosystem that can allow us to move forward together, leveraging out a set of competency, and more important, innovate new solutions to make our better lives. I hope that helps. And can I invite any other questions?
If there's none, I have a question to Terence. I think, sorry to ask you, because
No worries.
You have a very good database of use cases, I think, over the years. Now, these use cases are basically developed by serving the multinational operating in Singapore and all that. Now, the challenge of rolling these use cases to our friends like in Cambodia and all that requires another skill set, okay? How do you see rolling out of use cases, deployment and all that, in a most cost-effective way of doing it? How do you see that?
I mean, there's no shortcut to that, So basically, training. Training is one of the key factors in. Overseas collaboration. So the only way is to train, knowledge transfer, and sharing. So to add on to, because Singapore, the robotic ecosystems is developed in such a manner that a lot of the initiative is based on the international standards. Whether is it the I4.0 standards, the international communication protocols, using ROS-I and all this. So we don't actually create something out of the blue ourselves. So with these international standards and all the so-called international communication protocols. I'm sure that when we bring this abroad to our neighboring ASEAN country, it's modular and can be sort of like adopted easily. Yeah, so basically, I mean, in Singapore, we have developed the standards for the industry robots, the standards for the service robots, and so forth since 2018. So all these are already documented, you know, and we are willing to explore this with, this consortium and see how we can come together. And of course, definitely each country will have their own internal, customized part that got to put it in within your own expertise. So we will respect that, and then from there, I'm sure that this will be a success factor to the collaboration of this Arain, consortium. Yeah.
I've got another question. In ASEAN, we are the common factor for us is agriculture and food. How do you see robotics and AI being deployed in our ASEAN agriculture and food industry? Maybe we have a common food like the Philippines, robotic cooking your food, and the Cambodian, the robotic cooking your food, Malaysian. So how do you see that happening? Maybe Marisa.
Yeah. Not actually the ones cooking our food, but probably the ones that producing the crafts. We could see also lesser youth now is becoming farmers.
Yeah.
So the lack of manpower in terms of our generation who want their hands to be dirty and to do this farming is now becoming decreasing. Let's face it. They are already they already know the technology can do that, and so but the thing is, like in our country, there are less farmers who knows the use of this smart technology or smart agriculture. So that's why they are still doing the conventional way of farming. So I think it's more on the awareness and also the buyer that they can see is that they really don't know the technology. They don't have the capacity to invest on these things. So I think the government in the Philippines, they have this funding for such farmers who would like to have a technology-based type in their businesses and in their farm, for example. That's why one of the project that we have aired out to our government is to have a simple laboratory that is just the first step. And then there are already small businesses and even large business owners who would like to know the solutions. And then from there, the interest of these businessmen, these companies, has been growing year after year because they could see now the support from the government at the same time that there are consultants and experts in the Philippines and outside of the Philippines that could share the knowledge with them. So I think that is one of the things that is lacking. We have just need also some expert from our nearby countries and share it with our community so that they can also embed technology in their everyday businesses and in our lives. So I think that's the one thing that we could do, collaboration with this group. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. You do not know what you do not know. And that's the biggest challenge today. With technology moving so fast, sometimes we do not know what technology is available to help us. And Mauricio shared a very good point about the farmers not knowing what technology can help them. But if we swing back to the whole AI discussion, right? Many of us are worried that AI will displace our jobs, right? Will take over what we're doing. Is that a real fear? My personal view is that AI as a technology will not replace you. But the person who knows AI and how to use AI will replace the person who do not know how to use. Which translates to the fact that it is very important for us to start to appreciate technology. And with technology moving so fast, we need to really start to understand what are the best knowledge you need to know. Because only by understanding technology, only by being able to use technology, can you then level up with other players. So the education is a very fundamental piece. Today's education model is still very much based on just-in-case learning. You learn certain ideas just in case you need the knowledge. Your company sends you to a training class. You never know when you're going to need the training. But when you need to troubleshoot, you have to wait 6 months before you go to the training class. What if we now shift that model to look at just-in-time learning? Make content available in a repository that you can call up and help you to solve the problem as quickly as you possibly can. Learning in the flow of work is a great idea that's been circulating for the last 18 months, 24 months, because during the pandemic period, we cannot come to a class. So consultants, industry experts are saying, let's learn in the flow of work. What does that translate into? Let's learn just in time. What does it translate into? Making a learning infrastructure, a repository available to you just as you need to try to solve a problem. You know where to explore, you know how to extract, you know how to explain it out after learning about it. More importantly, executing it. And once you can execute it and get better with it, hopefully you will become a master of the technology and you can extrapolate to extend that solution to other areas and cross-pollinate the adoption of the technology. So all those are very important, and there are many things that we can continue discussing, but I know we're running a bit out of time. Dr. Iskandar, you want to make any final comments?
No, I think I hope all of you have really benefited from our session that we put together. I must say this is a team effort from all of us, and would like to invite, if you know of any other connections from the other ASEAN countries who needs to be part of our Arain initiative, do reach out to us.
Maybe one final comment from each of them.
Yeah, and maybe I'll pass to Philippines if there's anything.
Yes, I think this organization will definitely have some mutual benefit, not only in our country but also within the ASEAN countries as well. So this is just the founding of the Arain. We know we are a few countries here, but we are expecting a lot of countries and even industries who are interested to join Arain.
I think Arain, together with the concept of association and bringing the agency or the government into it, will drive the development much faster, with focusing on give services and try to package it completely with a good services to others, and hopefully when people start to experience about the whole Arain, the transformation of Arain can be much higher than the current vision that they have.
I believe that we look forward to, working together. So this morning the objective and the duties has already been assigned, and we shall put our effort and make this a success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from last word, I say the Arain will bring opportunity to each of us regardless the gap. I think it will be fill each other. For the advancement technology country can be open up new markets, and for us can be the technology can enhance the productivity. And for us, we will try to seek out the technology to help our country industry moving forward, so that one day we also join the arena of R&D and develop technology and advancement.
I'll leave this stage with two stories, right? Particularly two movies. I know most of you have watched the animation called WALL-E, right? It's a very popular animation. I know if your kids watch it, they all laugh at it. But there's a very important story behind that. You look at the humans in WALL-E. They are so dependent on technology. They think of something, the machines, the AI will bring it to you. If there's poison in the food, they'll take it away from you. You don't even know why. What happened to the human? They're all bubbly. Their limbs are all shrinking. They cannot even walk properly. do we want to end up in that stage, like the humans in Wall-E? The other movie that I like a lot is Star Trek. I love Captain Kirk. He pressed on his shoulder and asked computer, what is this, what's that? He may not accept all the solutions suggested by the AI, well, I'll call it AI for now, right? By the computer. He thinks and he adopts what's necessary. He was a master of technology. What is important is we need to build that environment for humans eventually to understand technology enough. Despite all the AI computation, despite all the generative AI that's producing outcome, we want to be in control. And in order for us to be in control, we must know the technology. I know it's going to be a far distance before Arain gets there, but we want to take steps to bring ourselves closer to that, and hopefully the day will come when our competency are leveled up, we're able to jointly innovate good technology, new breakthrough that allows us to get somewhere there. Okay, with that, I guess we can close up our panel discussion.
All right, thank you so much to our distinguished speakers, moderators, from members of Arain. Thank you very much.